Hey guys, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Theory TV here. I'm your host Marcus, and today we're going to talk about cards that belong on the ban list currently. Now, I'm not really good with video editing, so I don't have a lot of cards to show you or add into my videos. I'll learn how to do that stuff later. But for right now, this is going to be a preliminary ban list video. Currently, it is March 14th, 2016, and we still don't have a list yet that's out that I'm currently aware of. And with the adjusted list back in January to early February to just kind of axe Pepe in a lot of senses or neuter it down, even though Drake Capels are still a top deck. I kind of want to talk about cards that should be off the adjusted list or on the adjusted list and stay, and just other cards that should probably be hit. I don't have a very big list. While currently there's a lot of top decks right now that are running around that I think need to be hit, there's lots of things that I think can be done to make things a little bit slower. So yeah, I just want to kind of get into them. The first deck that I want to talk about hitting is Cosmos. Cosmos is a deck that's going to be getting released support in the new Premium Infinite Gold set coming out. Dark Destroyer is finally going to be affordable for people to get, but this poses a serious problem and a serious threat to the game. Cosmos is just one of those decks that right now, if there was people who could afford it, they would get it, and if there was enough of it running around, it would pretty much be like Dragon Rulers. I'm not saying that the deck is as bad as Dragon Rulers, although let's face it, I'm not really sure Dragon Rulers can even do anything against Dark Destroyer, let alone Dark Eclipser or anything else. If they get new support, which they will, there is support coming out for it in the next set after the Infinite Gold's released. And according to my sources that are some judges, not that I can give you a per se effect, the new Cosmo card that's like a boss card is absolutely incredible, like just absolutely amazing. So I don't know all of what it will do, but from one of my judge sources, he says it's absolutely insane. Now, Cosmos is just one of those decks that spams too quickly. The thing of it is Farm Girl literally outlets the entire deck and is just way too powerful. And so therefore, I think that Farm Girl should be semi-limited. You should be able to see Farm Girl as little as possible, because it's like the heart and soul of the deck. If you draw Farm Girl, it's just absolutely too much consistency, and if you get rid of her, it's just, again, too much. Like, it doesn't really do your deck any justice to go up against multiple Farm Girls in a turn, because even if one's not coming off the field and banishing it to like summon a Dark Destroyer or something, and the other one's just having to stay there, and because it can't use its effect more than once in that turn, at least the banish effect. The fact that it can search multiple cards to the hand is just really broken if it does damage. And cards like Honest coupling with Farm Girl literally make her a serious threat, getting damage in really easily. So if you can't stop Farm Girl or you can't do something to stop her, it just is really insane. Max C is also a lot of card. A lot of people think that the card's really good against it specifically, but Cosmos, if they go unhindered, would just absolutely burn the Max C challenge to the ground and kill you anyway, which is another reason why the deck does need to be nerfed. So I think that another nerf to the deck is Emergency Teleport to 1. I'm sorry that cards like this that help like psychic types and help psychic decks come out are really strong. But like this is a no-no. Emergency Teleport at 3 just basically outlets you 3 Farm Girls and 3 Tin Cans, which is just really dumb. I mean, it is. It's really stupid. And therefore needs to be hit to 1. And the last card that needs to be put on the ban list that I believe for Cosmos is Cosmo Tin Can. Cosmo Tin Can is a card that at first nobody liked, but now it is literally the most powerful card searchers in the deck. It's Cosmo Farm Girl on steroids, and you don't even have to do anything, and it is completely and utterly worth waiting a turn if you can get your best boss monster out. My issue is that they come out with a card in Cosmos, it's another big boss monster, like I've said earlier in this video, that this card would literally be the best card probably in the game because of what it can search. For instance, the card that's probably coming out is probably a card that looks like the Death Star, okay? I mean, that's obviously the next logical step in the ship's size scale to go to. And if this Death Star card is even remotely broken, like it can negate spell cards, for example, or it probably won't be able to be targeted, and it had some stupid recursion effect where it could bring itself back from the grave, and it had like 3,500 attack, and it couldn't be targeted, or it had like unaffected, like it was unaffected by monster effects and spells and traps or something like Towers was, or something stupid like that. And it has its destruction by battle or destroyed by card effect and removed from play to summon one smaller from your deck. Like, this card would seriously be the most broken thing ever. And Tin Can would be a complete and utter initiator. There'd be a 1 in 3 chance for you to get it, plus its dumping effect, and coupled with Call of the Haunted or something like Oasis of Dragon Souls, just literally makes the deck too broken and will make it too broken. So this would be a preemptive hit. Farm Girl to 2, Emergency Teleport to 1, so we can see Farm Girl and Tin Can as little as possible. And just, Tin Can to 1. I think that this would be a very, very adjustable hit. I think it would still make them playable, and at the same time, dumbed down well enough. Okay, Super Quantums just came out, which is the next deck I want to talk about. And so far, the deck does a lot of stuff, like a lot. I've played against it a few times, and just when it goes off, it goes off. It's insane. It's one of those decks that's pretty linear. It's going for like one play, and that's to get their super quantum mechanic guy out that's just basically Megazord in like times infinity. But there is a serious problem with this card. It shouldn't exist in the game. I'm just going to be honest with you. It probably needs to be banned. Super Quantums is a very new deck. I admit it. And they have like a lot of good support for it right now. And I'm not saying that it should get the axe because it's like top tier and busted. I'm saying that the Super Quantum, Mega guy should get axe, which basically kind of does kill the deck a little bit. But it would force the deck to play in a different play style other than the one that it currently is in. And the reason why I think it needs to be axed is because if you're not running a Super Quantum card, you literally cannot kill that thing. The only way to kill it would be to be by battle, and you would need a 3,700 attacking monster to do so. So Cosmos literally stare at that card and just shake their head back and forth because they don't know what to do. I mean, at the same time, Monarchs can tribute off it really easily. But right now, I just don't see a conceivable way for you to really beat that without either playing Monarchs, a specific deck, or a Super Quantum card in your extra deck, neither of which are, like, good. Either you're playing Super Quantums or you're losing to that card. And I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For a long time. I've gone up against Towers and been like, alright, my next card that I'm going to make is Star Eater, and I'm killing that thing. And, I have my outs, like, you ran things like Diamond Crab King to crash the dumb thing, and it was really easy to do because you had a rank 4 spam deck, and that's what you were going to do anyway, to get over that thing. And then you, take their investment and tell them to go shove it out the window. But when it comes to this Super Quantum card, that's just not the same thing. 3,500 attack is a very tall order. I mean, with Clyfort Towers, we had Star Eater, a 3,200 attack that was unaffected by the card effects, so it ran through it. And the fact that it's just not unaffected by any other card effects except for Super Quantum cards, it's just insane. Absolutely insane. I can't effect Veiler the dang thing. I can't even, skill drain it or, lose one turn useless. I mean, seriously. It's just one of those cards that's just absolutely insane. And it doesn't just stop the game state. It completely turns the game into almost an irreversible play state. It just is. It's just one of those cards that's too overbearing. Deserves to be axed, in my opinion. The next deck that I want to talk about, and one of the key cards that I want to talk about, is the Dominion of Monarchs card. Now, Monarchs just got their support, and so far with their support overall, they've allowed this magical explosion FTK, which needs to seriously be taken out of the game. Unfortunately, Monarchs Pantheism has got to go because of that. Pantheism probably needs to go to 1, but the card that I really want to talk about, other than this magical explosion thing, because it's really easy. Take Pantheism out of the game, that deck is dead. Like the magical explosion one. And Royal Magic Library, ban that too. But the issue is Dominion, because Dominion is like Vanity's Emptiness on steroids. Let's talk about this for a second. It's not hard for Monarchs, as in their current state, to get a card out that's tribute summon. And if you do, and you're playing a deck like Draco Palace, as if it wasn't hard getting axed enough against that deck, with what all they did to the deck to axe it, yeah, this Dominion card is a pretty serious threat because of a few reasons. Number one, getting rid of the Tribute Summon monster is not as easy as it sounds when they start playing the cards that protect the Tribute Summon. For instance, March of the Monarchs is just absolutely overwhelming to a deck. It must be the first card to go in the sequence. And if you're a deck that does rely on your extra deck, then you're kind of out of luck, because it literally just tells you no. Now, I'm not in favor of Burning Abyss still being a top deck, but there's not a lot that they can do after that card is in play. I mean, sure, you could play something like Regeki Break, or you could play Twin Twisters, and all this other stuff. Yeah, that's pending that you draw into them. I mean, this Dominion card is basically a searchable Vanity's Emptiness, which is busted. And if that's not, bad enough, they draw better than you. So, I mean, you're kind of, left in this toss-up. And I think Dominion needs to go to 1, and Pantheon needs to go to 1 or banned. And this would pretty much put Monarchs in their place. Other than that, they're not, too broken. I think they're a pretty fair deck. It's not the Protector cards either, because, even with the Protector cards not there, if you can't get over the Tribute Summon monster, it's pretty stupid. And same thing for, Vanities and Majesty's Fiend. Not that they are a super threat in the deck. Not a lot of people are like, oh, I'm running so many Vanity's Fiend and so many Majesty's Fiend. And it's pretty much Aether Erebus, and which I'm fine with, and I'm fine with Mega Caius and all that other stuff. So, Monarchs, Dominion to 1, and Pantheism to 1 are banned. The last deck that I kind of want to talk about is Mermails. Now, if you hit all these other decks, Mermails are just going to shoot into the top zone. Because Mermails is the deck that's sitting on the fringe of everything else. It's winning some events. It just won an ARG event, which a lot of people laugh at and pretty much don't count anyway. But it's showing up in a lot of tops, and it's one of those decks that would easily be able to take the top spots if you hit and nerfed all these other decks. And I'm not really sure what to do. I don't think you should limit the deck. I think one way to go about this is to reduce instant fusion to 1. And I think that would literally slow down a lot of combo plays with the deck that make it really stupid. Neptibus is one of those cards that you could argue is a reason that Diva needs to be banned. But I really don't think that's the case. I think that currently the Mermails are a deck that invests all in so early, and if you do something to stop them, their mid to late game is terrible. They want to have a very, very, very fast beginning game so that your mid to late game is not even existent. And so with that being said, I'm not really sure that Diva could stay. I think it could be banned, and that would be kind of fair to say if you did all these other hits. And definitely Instant Fusion to 1, because Norden in any other deck that can play Instant Fusion to multiple numbers is kind of too broken. The last deck that I want to talk about real quick is the adjusted list on Draco Pals, and there's only 2 erratas that I would make to it. The very first errata that I would make to it is Monkey Board to 2, not 1. Yes, a lot of people are going to complain about this, but you need to be honest with here. That Draco Pals is a fraction, like a 16th of a fraction. And sure, you could argue, well, it gets top 8 still. Well, so does Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss can still get top 8, and it's been around for a year. But Draco Pals with 3 Sorcerer, literally, it got its axe too early. And another card that literally ticks me off the most is probably Ptolemaeus. Ptolemaeus is one of the few cards in the game that would get you to invest a Pendulum Summon into an XYZ, and to make up a Cyber Infinity, of which it was not hard to get around. And I know I'm not making a very hard case argument. But let's face it, Cyber Infinity was not the greatest threat in that deck. Ignister is. And guess what? Ignister's still at 3. So yeah, and with all the other hits still the same on the adjusted list, I think the Dracopows could use a Monkey Board bump to 2 and Ptolemaeus to 1. And yeah, those are my edits to the ban list. Let me know what you guys think. Part 2 will be up shortly. Later.